Shalom, shalom, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Racha, Kwadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere kin. Alright, and basically what we have here is some news articles I just stumbled upon. Just decided to compile all of them together and use them to do a lesson because it's getting cold out here, man. It's getting the world recently has been getting it's been getting real wild out here through the spirit. Okay, so I want to first and foremost start with the book of Matthew 24. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Matthew 24 verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And that's what basically all of these prophecies are going into. Okay, a rise in violence. Okay, a rise in wickedness, basically. And that's the main thing. Okay, because you know what Esau Edom's kingdom, Esau Edom's rulership has done to the earth and has done to the people of the earth. It's not just made them more violent, but made them more wicked, right? Because you have majority of this wickedness that is being done out here is in the form of violence. But the main thing, okay, the major thing that is going on the earth right now is wickedness, okay. So when this precept is talking about the love of many waxing cold, it's not just going into violence, but it's going into pure wickedness, and because you know what the scripture says, love worketh no ill towards his neighbor. In other words, no form of wickedness, but that's what you're seeing all over the earth, man. Because truly, all right, violence in its purest form is in the way of wickedness. Adultery is violence, okay. Covetousness is violence, okay. But anyway, continuing on into the article, and read here: Nigeria clash. Abuja mob burns man to death over row with Muslim cleric. All right, and you heard of that story. I think that was what last month. Okay, about the girl that was born here in Nigeria as well, because of blaspheming the name of the prophets and Islam. And now you have another situation where the man is getting burned to death. What I assume is just a little conflict with a Muslim cleric, which is basically an imam. Okay, so anyway, let's just read this article a little bit. Nigerian police says a man who had a row with a Muslim cleric died in the capital Abuja after being set ablaze by a mob supporting the cleric. The 30-year-old man, Ahmad Usman, was in a local vigilante group, and police say about 200 people were mobilized against him. There are no details yet about the row. Last month, a Christian female student was beaten to death and set on fire by a Muslim students who accused her of blaspheming in the city of Sokoto. I don't understand. Okay, this is an ad. The Abuja victim was described by police as a member of the local vigilante around Tipe Garage at Federal Housing Estate in Lube area. Police found him at the scene with severe burns and took him to the hospital, but he died of his injuries. BBC Abuja reporter Chris Ewoko says there appears to be a rise in mob violence in Nigeria, and the reason for that, once again, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. The reason why I have seen all of these things happening, that's the reason why I brought out this article, is because wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, man, and the judgment of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going forth at a higher rate. With an increase in wickedness, there is also an increase in judgment, and this, of course, this was the judgment of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. I'm not going to dwell too deeply on this. You already know what that is, okay? There are more examples I can bring out concerning this, okay? And that name, it sounds like a name of all these Yoruba Hausa people, okay? Jake that's into Islam, and this is what it gets you. This is what believing in a false religion gets you, man, because there is no reason to burn somebody alive just for getting a little fight with another religious leader. But anyway, you already know how these people. Anyway, you already know how the people of this world are, man. Especially in these northern parts of the country, because a lot of those people a lot of these Muslims, a lot of these Hausa, a lot of these Fulani, they are Ham, man, okay? Hamites. They are out here just terrorizing Jake with their terrorism and violence, man. And Esau, of course, at the background, bankrolling all of this. But that's not, we're not really going to go too deep into that. So let's just continue reading this article. I think that's all. Okay, here's more information. 2 weeks ago, at least 5 people were killed in violent clashes between commercial motorbike operators and traders in a suburb of Abuja. A few days earlier, mob violence led to the death of a 38-year-old sound engineer in the country's commercial hub, Lagos. Human rights campaigners say the frequent cases of mob violence are fueled by deep-rooted impunity and a lack of confidence in the criminal justice system. All right, and this is how it is in these third world countries, man. You know what they how they say it's jungle justice, right? But of course, these are all the judgments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and it's all being played out, and you can see it clearly playing out upon the earth. But yeah, I just want to get a few articles to show you, okay, to impress upon the people the times that we are in, okay, because these type of situations where you hear about mob violence, you hear about them people being put to death and so on and so forth. They used to be, a little bit spaced out, few and far between, a couple of weeks, couple of months maybe. But now it's going on every single day upon this earth, man, because we are in those times, okay? These are the times we are seeing more and more contractions because this wicked kingdom is about to be delivered, basically, okay? And it's going to be delivered by our Lord Yahushai. And that's why you are seeing more, the contractions of these birth pains, which is in the way of judgments, in the way of wickedness, in the way of violence, more and more all over the earth. Okay, so let's get to another article. I'll just close this one real quick. Just talking about that, how to crop out some parts of the video. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, okay, this article going into this, children among 31 killed at church fair stampede in Nigeria. Police say a stampede at a church charity event in southern Nigeria has left 31 people dead and 7 injured. Okay, now, later, my family members will be telling me about how I should be going to church, I should be going to church, Oh, as long as you serve God, you should be in a church. It doesn't matter what the pastors are doing. So long as you believe in God, you should still go to church and serve God. But this is what happens in these churches, man. And these whorehouses, these cemeteries, cemeteries, okay? This is the congregation of the dead. All right, and these things, okay, these articles like these are proof of it. That's why there is always massacres and mass death in these churches, whether it's mass shootings, whether it's church building collapse, whether it's a stampede like this, and this isn't the first time, this won't be the last time, okay. And it's always all these, and the death is always on the high numbers, man. 31 people taken out just like that in one church alone, okay. Continuing on. Abuja, Nigeria, a stampede Saturday at a church charity event in southern Nigeria left 31 people dead and 7 injured. Police told the Associated Press, a shocking development at a program that aimed to offer hope to the needy. One witness said the dead included a pregnant woman and many children, okay? And they use articles like this to pull at the heartstrings of the people because once you hear about children, everybody starts feeling sad, everybody starts feeling, all those poor, unfortunate children, all those innocent children, in order to make them feel basically pity, okay, for the situation that happened. But when you come into this truth, you understand that whether it was a child, whether it was a man, a woman, old, young, whatever age, gender, or any other, or any other differentiator between people, man, all of that does not matter because it is all the judgments of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, all right, for the wicked spirits that were in those people. That's exactly what you are seeing with this article. So continuing on. The stampede at the event, organized by the King's Assembly Pentecostal Church in Rivers State, involved people who came to the church's annual Shop for Free charity program, according to Grace Ingre Koko, a police spokeswoman. Such events are common in Nigeria, Africa's largest economy, where more than 80 million people live in poverty according to government statistics. And that's right, okay? And once again, there is a prophetic reason for why in a country of 170 million people, over 50% are living below the poverty line, okay? To the point where they have to basically kill each other just to have free items, and just like charity events. And that's because of the causes of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh, the Most High Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh upon our people. Deuteronomy 28, man. You don't see this happening to those small hearts over there in Israel, okay? This only happens to you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, okay? The scattered elect are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, right? And before anybody wants to say, oh well, what part of the course is say that the Israelites will be living in poverty? How does it go again? Cause shall be thy basket and thy store, right? Let me get that. And thou shalt put your money in a bag full of holes, or something along those lines. And I'm focusing how it goes. Oh yeah, it is already. I've already gotten to it. So this is the book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 17. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Right? And the basket and the store is going into your money, man. Okay, because at the times that we're in right now, you don't have much people going into farming because everybody is working all these office and corporate jobs and blue collar jobs in order to make money, and our people are always find themselves in financial need, okay, financial deficit, using a big word there. And the reason for that is these courses, okay. So let me get this one as well. I don't want to start looking for it, so just bring it up quickly. So this is the book of Haggai 1, and this isn't in Deuteronomy 28, but it is still a part of the courses because it's still in the script, it's still in the Bible, isn't it? Haggai 1 verse 5. Now therefore thus saith Yahweh of hosts, consider your ways, ye have sown much and bring in little, ye eat, but have not enough, ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink, ye clothe you, but there is none warm, and he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. Okay, and that's the cause is going into the poverty, and our people are always go to the nations with the highest poverty rates. You are going to see Israelite nations, they're also called Negro, Latinos, and Native American nations. Okay, go to the richest nations, go to the poorest people. Going to find out that majority of those poor people are still going to be Israelites, because that is the cost that is upon our people. And that course was simply for the disobedience, and we'll go back to that as well. All right, so let me start from here. This is the book of Deuteronomy. Okay, yeah, so okay, I meant to get Deuteronomy 28 from verse 50, from verse 13 ish. So this is the book of Deuteronomy 28 from verse 15. Deuteronomy 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Okay, so by disobeying the laws, the statutes, and the commandments of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, we have these curses falling upon us. Okay, but I also want to get this. This is the book of Daniel 9 verse 5. We have sinned and have committed iniquity, and have done wickedly, and have rebelled, even by departing from thy precepts and from thy judgments. Okay, So because we departed from the heritage, the law, which is what the word precept is going into, and the judgments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, which are just and righteous, by the way, we are going through and we are under these curses, okay? Because even the scriptures tell you that we have kindled and a fire in the Most High's heart which shall burn forever, okay? Because all throughout history, man, the curses of our people will be remembered, and even in the kingdom, the destruction our people went through on this side in this kingdom will always be remembered, But anyway, continuing on, continue on. Let's get back into the article. Before I do that, we also have to go through some of the judgments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because you know if let me say it like this, okay, and this isn't a pedophile thing. Before they start accusing us, before they start accusing us once again of being pedophiles, age is just a number, okay? And let's get that. And that's not actually in the that's not actually in the that's not actually in the scriptures, okay? What I want to get is that the Most High is not a respecter of persons, okay? So this is the book of Acts 10, verse 34. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, "Of a truth I perceive that the Most High, Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, is no respecter of persons, okay? Young, old, rich, poor, you know, righteous, wicked, okay, at least the Most High will respect the righteous person more than the wicked, okay? That is the only distinction the Most High gives. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is that, so we correct that young, old, rich, poor, and no matter the nation, no matter the people, okay? As long as you are wicked, you will receive the judgment of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Nobody is exempt from judgment except for the righteous, except for the elect of the nation of Israel, okay? And these are the judgments of Yahweh Bahasham. These are the judgments of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai that you are saying, okay, with this article right here, going into disaster, going into death, okay, and there are still judgments. You see people out here talking about why is this guy always on the highways and byways talking about the death that is being brought upon the earth, talking about death and being a prophet of doom, right? Talking about death and people dying, you know. Isn't the man of the Lord supposed to be speaking about prosperity and life? You Israelites have been seduced so much by the smooth things that you want to hear from these false pastors, okay, these false preachers. But what you don't realize is that Jeremiah 28, verse 8, right there. The prophets that have been before me and thee of old prophesied both against many kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. Okay. And these are the times that we're in. We're in the times of the greatest evils, the greatest wars, the greatest pestilences. So, what do you think, will come out of the mouth of the men of the Lord the most? Okay. Judgments, man. Judgments. So, continuing on. Godwin Tepikor of Nigeria's National Emergency Management Agency said first responders were able to evacuate the bodies of those trampled to death and bring them to the morgue. Security forces cordoned off the area. Dozens of residents later thronged the scene, mourning the dead and offering any assistance they could to the emergency workers. Doctors and emergency workers treated some of the injured as they lay in the open field. Videos from the scene showed the clothing, shoes, and other items meant for the beneficiaries. One witness, who only identified himself as Daniel, said there were so many children among the dead. Five of the dead were from one mother, he told the AP, adding that a pregnant woman also lost her life. Okay, and don't get me wrong, this is actually all sad. This is actually pretty sad situation, which is why I'm bringing it out, because this is how the judgments of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai works, okay? That anybody that hears it, their ears will tingle, right? So the most that's the precept right there. You can actually look it up, that I forget this. I forgotten where it's from, but the Most High, how about Shami our Shai, he brings judgment that all that hear their ears will tingle, okay? Because like I always say, judgment is a public event that all of Israel will hear and will fear. But right now, our people are in this case where they see the judgments of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai happening on the earth, but they don't recognize it as that. They don't understand what it is because none of these false pastors, none of these so-called Christian leaders, man of God, and so on can tell you what they are. Okay. But the Hebrew Israelites, especially the men of the great millstone, we are more than ready to tell you exactly what they are. Okay. They are the judgments of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. So let's see if I can get these precepts. Well, let me get in the Apocrypha. Okay. Punishing the wicked to destruction and bringing you upon the workers of iniquity. Or is it the workers of iniquities? So I'm trying to remember how this precept goes. Punishing the wicked to destruction. Alright. So this is the book of Job 31, Job 31 verse 3. Job 31 verse 3 is not destruction to the wicked and a strange punishment to the workers of iniquity. And with that, I'll also get this. I think that's in the book of Job, the 6th chapter. But let me just make sure. Okay, let me just make sure. I'm not going to, okay, so this is the book of Job 4. Okay, yeah, Job 4. So this is the book of Job 4, verse 7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. By the blast of the Most High, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh they perish, and by the breath of his nostrils are they consumed. Okay. And of course, you should already know that here in our Great Millstone, we the Hebrew Israelites, we teach, okay, the correct doctrine, which is reincarnation, okay? Your spirit is coming back into your body and receiving your judgment, okay? And this is exactly what happened to these children, to these people that got trampled in that stampede in a church, okay? They received the sins that they had done in their past life in these current bodies, and now they are in the spirit world. They are good with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, okay? Because they have paid their judgment. The wages of sin is what? It's death, all right? Anyway, continuing on. Some church members were attacked and injured by relatives of the victims after the stampede, according to witness Christopher Eze. The church declined to comment on the situation, and now you are seeing more judgment. And this is all happening because all of you people out here, all you Nigerians, you are in this. Hey, Lord have mercy. You're in these cemeteries, okay, worshiping these fake idol gods, okay, and you think that the Most High is there with you, when in all actuality, this is what you received, for your wickedness, man. Continuing on, the police spokeswoman said the 7 injured were responding to treatment. The shop for free event was suspended while authorities investigated how the stampede occurred. That's basically the end of that. Oh, this is a good one. Nigeria has seen similar stampedes in the past. 24 people died at an overcrowded church gathering in the southeastern state of Anambra in 2013, while at least 16 people were killed in 2014 when a crowd got out of control during a screening for government jobs in the nation's capital, Abuja. That's basically all that is going into. And you see, these judgments are years and years apart, but now you'll be seeing them closer and closer, months and months apart, weeks and weeks apart, days and days apart, because we are coming into the times where the judgments of the Most High are being multiplied upon the earth, right? And except you repent, ye shall not be saved. Next article. US denies spreading monkeypox in Nigeria. And the reason I even wanted to bring this out is because of they mentioned Billy G, okay, the Bill Gates of hell. And of course it's going into how Esau Edom is always putting hell upon you people out here, man. Okay, these are the Esau Edom is always putting hell on our people, the Israelites, actually so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Okay, the Israelites are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. We know that we know okay, we know that these devils are notorious for experimenting or and testing out all these diseases among Jake. Okay, some of the recent examples, the Tuskegee experiment, the polio experiment that was done even here in West Africa, so on and so forth, right? So anyway, I could go into the syphilis experiments. Okay, but anyway, continue on. The American Embassy in Nigeria has been compelled to release a statement denying the US is responsible for engineering a deadly monkeypox outbreak in the country. Okay, and this is because people started calling Esau out and calling all these news media out about how monkeypox is prevalent in Western countries. Okay, so Europe and the Americas, right? But yet, whenever they show examples of monkeypox, it's always, I don't want to say Jake, but dark-skinned people, specifically from the continent of, calling this continent right here in Africa. Okay, so what happened is that after all this, information started coming out, all these people started calling out Esau Edom. Suddenly, there was a monkeypox outbreak in the Congo, and then out of nowhere, one person got monkeypox here in Nigeria, even though there's no evidence, of how that happened. Okay, which of course we already know that it's Esau that's doing this. Okay, that is releasing this outbreak in different parts of the earth. Okay, and of course there are other theories into what this monkeypox actually may be. We're not going to go into all that because you know how YouTube is doing, especially with these days now when their CEO is in the World Economic Forum talking about more censorship. you know let's just maintain ourselves. So, continuing on, officials took the unusual step of addressing conspiracy theories head on by issuing a 360-word rebuttal of the bizarre claims on Monday. The document, which was published to the website of the US Consulate General, insists allegations that secret American laboratories are deliberately spreading the infectious diseases are pure fabrication. And the reason for this is because wisdom and knowledge is being increased on the earth. All thanks be to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh. Okay, almost said because of the men of the Lord right there, but it's all being done by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay, so now Jake is being more and more suspicious of anything that happens on the earth. Everybody's more and more suspicious of it, and now everybody's looking to Esau Edom before they even look at anything else, before they even try to find out any other alternative reason. They're looking at Esau Edom first. What did you do now? So now people are starting to see that Esau Edom, this is truly the wicked that we're dealing with. So let me get these precepts. This is truly the wicked that we're dealing with. This is truly Esau Edom, the devil that we're dealing with. Okay, I think it's Second Thessalonians 2. Now I want to start from the bottom. Okay, so Second Thessalonians 2 verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Okay, and right now, Esau Edom is being revealed upon the earth. Now, more and more people are suspecting these devils and realizing that Esau Edom, okay, Babylon the Great, okay, the beast is not the savior, or not, the the big entity that made himself to be. And Jake is increasing in wisdom, increasing in understanding, and now seeing that these devils are not out here for your own good. They are trying to destroy you, Israelites, okay? Psalms, the 83rd chapter, read it up. So, continuing on. Recent misleading posts on social media wrongly speculate on the origin of the current global outbreak of monkeypox disease and supposedly call for WHO, World Health Organization, to investigate so-called US-controlled laboratories in Nigeria, the statement began. And I will say this, okay? This is all allegedly, okay? We don't know whether you have to put that disclaimer there. This is all allegedly. We don't know whether the US is actually responsible for the spread of these infections, okay? Allegedly, allegedly, okay. Yeah, I have to put that there. It's just because how these devils are, man. They'll take down your video just for saying something. I will have another one, and this one is algorithm for MOTB, okay? Algorithm for CHIP for Karagma. And that's why this article is here. Nigeria is finally waking up to cryptocurrency, which of course, the Nigerian government has already released its CBDC, which is central bank digital currency in the form of the digital or e-naira, okay? The Nigerian government is already looking into algorithms for digital ID, showing you that they are getting ready to accept the charagma whensoever it comes, and now they are implementing more of the blockchain cryptocurrency into their government. Earlier this month, let's start with the headline. Nigeria is finally waking up to cryptocurrency. Earlier this month, Nigeria Security and Exchange Commission (SEC) issued a 54-page document titled "New Rules on Issuance," offering platforms and custody of digital assets, paving the way for future paving the way for future legitimization of cryptocurrency in a country struggling with the economic repercussions following the pandemic. The move by the SEC is one welcomed by the already 33 million strong Nigerian crypto investor community. The recent action taken by Nigeria's SEC came as a surprise to many, given the Central Bank of Nigeria's supposed outlawing of the technology altogether in 2021. The move is one that will finally bring about state legitimization of a technology that can serve to eliminate barriers to finance in a country where 36% of adults are financially excluded and often without bank accounts, okay? And then you see the main reason why this technology ISO is pushing for it to be implemented, so that all the people can have so-called bank accounts, okay, in order to tax and to basically, how does it go again? It's not not just tax, but to register the people into the system, for lack of a better word. Okay, because in these third world countries, you have majority of the people, a good percentage of the people outside of the system, where they can't be taxed. Their assets and their earnings and their income can't be taxed because they are technically not in the system, right? So this is the reason why this technology is being pushed heavily, okay? It's all for the sake of control. Control over all you people that are on the earth, and even Esau Edom, the devil will admit this, okay? I think it was Aaron Russo, right, that actually said it, that This is no, not Aaron Russo Salaka. It was The Capitalist Conspiracy by G. Edward Griffin. He was the one that said this, that this is all being done for control over humans, control over men. Okay, because that's what Esau Edom wants. And this will lead me to the book of Second Thessalonians once again. And we will start from the top right now. Second Thessalonians 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. Okay, which is basically going into the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians falling away from your heritage, from your nationality, and becoming scattered around among the heathen upon the earth, believing that you are heathens. Okay, and even even Israelis, even Jake that is scattered among the Israelis, guess what? They are still hidden as well, because Judaism is not the truth. Okay, so they are following heathenistic customs as well, believing that they are heathen. Even if they say that they are Israelis, they still are in that yeah, they're still in that condition. Okay, so continuing on, Second Thessalonians 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God seated in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Okay, and I have to say that those gods, I have to say it literally, word for word, just to emphasize how these devils think. Okay, they want to be the Most High. They want to be as the Most High. And you can read about this even more in Isaiah the 14th chapter. Lucifer, which is once again going into Esau Edom's kingdom. Okay, the dragon going into the dragon of Daniel, the seventh chapter, 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay, which is the kingdom of Esau Edom, the red beast that's the ruling over the earth, which is NATO and the EU. Okay, now let's continue on. Continuing on from the article, with soaring inflation in the country, currently at 16%, it should come as no great shock that millions of Nigerians have already flocked to crypto to serve their daily needs. Despite often being used as a hedge against inflation, many have simply turned to blockchain technology to facilitate everyday payments, whilst the naira continues depreciating, sending money abroad and receiving it instantly and for investment purposes. Ongoing problems with the e-naira, Nigeria's central bank digital currency, have not improved long-standing issues in this country, such as financial market access, with many turning to crypto instead. Okay, that's basically, let's just keep on reading. According to Bloomberg, Nigeria is the world's second largest cryptocurrency player in terms of volumes of transaction, second only to the US. The thriving nature of crypto in a country where it was essentially outlawed illustrates that the Nigerian appetite for crypto is as strong as ever. Okay, this is of course all going into the how do they say it? How do you say it? The algorithm of the charagma. Okay, because by introducing and allowing and allowing crypto, and not just allowing the cryptocurrency, but creating laws to regulate that cryptocurrency, you can sneak in any legislation and any law you want. Oh, or you can't, you know use the cryptocurrency except you have this little grain of rice, right, in your right hand or in your forehead, which of course, it's just me speaking as a man. Okay, they might sneak in some laws and legislations into this into this let me go up a little bit and find out how they say it. New rules on issuance, offering platforms and custody of digital assets. Okay, which is basically what Israel was probably planning all along. First, illegalize it, and then legalize it with by bringing in some bills and laws and legislation concerning how it is used. Okay, but at the end of the day, we know that all roads lead to Karagma. Okay, 6G, DGID, crypto, blockchain, NFT, so on and so forth. Okay, so let's go into the last article. I think this is the last article. Okay, so this is the last article. British school kids to munch on bug and plant protein during workshop. And what you are seeing happening is that children in the UK, the UK is looking into, feeding grade school children, and it's always be the children with these devils, man. There's always the children that Easter them is aiming at with these devils. Okay, they are looking to feed them, insects. Okay, as an alternative to other forms of protein for quote unquote global warming. Okay, now I was trying to look for the article that was going into this, but I couldn't find it, so I had to just settle for this one. Okay, 4 Welsh primary schools will use the insect-based protein to teach youngsters about how the impact of food on the environment and how the creatures can be used to find new sustainable proteins. That's just pure wickedness, okay? Because we know that there are insects that are righteous to eat, but you know that Esau Edom isn't going to be giving them those clean insects. Man. He's going to be giving them all kinds of abominable, wicked foods to eat out here, man. Just like he has always been doing with the, just like he has been doing with all the other foods. Because what you have, especially in these Europe, especially in Babylon the Great, okay, and at a lower level in these European countries, is that you have these foods that aren't actual foods. Okay, you have these chicken and beef and meat that aren't even actual meats and chicken and beef in the and beefs. They are organic foods that are basically made to look and taste and smell just like, you know actual beef, actual chicken, actual meats. Okay, and the same thing with a lot of these foods that Esau Edom is, the same thing with a lot of these so-called GMO and non-GMO foods. All they are chemicals, man, with flavorings, additives, preservatives to make them look and seem and taste like the real deal. Okay, like for example, here in Nigeria, there was this big thing going around that that China was importing plastic, rice. Okay, basically the rice was, it wasn't actual rice but plastic rice. They were importing it and people were eating it and getting killed, man, because the body wasn't digesting the plastic properly. And that's that GMO right there. What Esau is starting to develop for these few people out here in the world, man, because these devils have basically destroyed the earth and destroyed the productivity of the earth. And I'll get this precept, Isaiah 24 verse 7. And you already know what that means, man. Defiled inhabitants. Okay, and the defiled inhabitants in this case is none other than Esau Edom, the so-called red man that is ruling over the earth today. Okay, Isaiah 24 verse 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinances, and broken the everlasting covenant. And that is exactly what Esau Edom has done. Okay, because you have allowed wickedness to multiply and to be upon the earth to the highest degree in history. The earth has become defiled. The land is no longer giving you the earth is no longer giving you its strength. Your animals are no longer gendering. Okay, animals aren't multiplying at the rate they are supposed to. That's why endangered species extinction is at an all-time high. Okay, because of this wickedness. Okay, there is a correlation between righteousness and the prosperity of the whole earth, and wickedness and the destruction and the pollution of the whole earth. Because like I said, I'll keep on saying it, we are seeing on the earth, it isn't pollution, okay? It's the earth being defiled, okay? It's the earth being defiled by wickedness. The earth isn't polluted, it's defiled by wickedness, okay? Because you have these devils, these demons in rulership. Let's just leave it at that. Anyway, continuing on. The youngsters will be given a product called Vexo, which is a combination of insect and plant-based protein. So they're not even going to be feeding them the insects directly. They're going to, give it some chemical loving, some chemical processes, and then turn it into a product, a drug, because that's what all these foods are. Okay, they'll extract the protein, right? Extract the protein from the insects, while extract the protein from the insects, extract the protein from the plants, while leaving all the other nutritional and medicinal, substances that the Most High put in those plants, okay, leaving them out of it and focusing only on extracting this one mineral. And that's why you people on the earth, man, you're so sickly, okay, you're so weak, because this is what Esau Edom does, man. All his processes, all his the way he processes these foods, man, it's unhealthy, okay, and it destroys the nutrients within the actual foods. So continuing on, the product itself looks like conventional means and should happen from next spring pending approved from the Food Standards Agency. According to a new report from the newspaper, researchers are hoping to use whatever data they find to learn how to best educate children about the benefits of eating creepy crawlies. And when you're a child, man, that's the point in your life where you should be, where you should have the most nutrition, okay, in order to grow properly. But you see, that's why Esau Edom is targeting these children, man. You feed them with all these abominable foods and they become easier to control, because because the food you eat determine how your brain functions, okay. And these kids, when they'll have their lower brain function and be able to be controlled easier. Don't think that Esau doesn't know what he's doing with these, with this with this insane experiment, man. Esau Edom knows exactly what he's doing. He's trying to weaken these children. That's why the scriptures say, except those days be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days are shortened, because Esau Edom has already started to destroy the flesh, okay? He's already started to destroy the flesh of you people out here, man, of your children, okay? And even you yourself, okay? Continuing on. According to a new report from the newspaper, researchers are hoping to use whatever data they find to learn how best to educate children about the benefits of eating creepy crawlies. The investigation, which will use children from 5 to 11, is being led by Christopher Beer at Cardiff University. Okay, so now not only are you having your TJ, your T in the alphabet lifestyle story sessions, okay? Not only are you teaching children about, you know, intercourse, not even righteous intercourse, but anal intercourse at a young age in these schools, okay? Not only are you teaching them about how to be, about Satan, and you're bringing in the satanic temple into these schools, okay, and not teaching them about the scriptures, but now you are teaching them to eat abominable foods, okay, and eat these, even more so than before, and eat bugs, okay, just because these devils are trying to bring in that NWO, okay. So now they are taking out the food stores. Continue, but it's all good, right? This is the kingdom that you people out here want to live in. This is the kingdom that you want to continue for all eternity. Instead of you to repent, come back to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, join the men of the Lord in prophesying and praying for the downfall and the destruction of this kingdom. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Hashem Rachak Wadash Shalak Rayam Wa Mashapatyam Kal Gawayam Kal Adawan, Tawad, Babakasha, Tawada, Aman. So anyway, continuing on. The study is part of a wider research which is which is facilitating discussion with children about what are promoted as the environmental slash nutritional benefits of alternative protein, and trying to give them the tools to think critically about these claims so that they can make informed choices about the foods they eat. Okay, so now more wickedness is being taught to these children in these schools, man. You know, but yet there's no righteous and there's no righteousness on the earth anymore, man. That's why I was trying to say that when he comes back, will he find faith on the earth? After the elect, and then after the elect are delivered, where will the faith be? When we're in the chariots, and there's not going to be any faith out here, only destruction. Okay. So anyway, I'm just going to have to end it right there. So with that, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Racha Kodash, Wa Abad Babal, and through the Spirit, I hope you Akim, you are quite edified. Shalom.